Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Jenks of Team Wonderbread coming at you with the deck that I am currently running for this format. It is currently one of the most hated decks in the format because it is one of the most herder, and I pretty mean to my friends with it because they hate it. Alright, so we're going to start off with 3 Effect Veiler because Effect Veiler is amazing this format. She obviously stops Inzektors. She slows down stuff like Dino Rabbit. Not so much stuff like Heretics, but she does stop like the Atoms and Red Eyes Darkness Metal. She's just all around good this format. And we got 1 Gores. Gores is in here because he's the OTK stopper. If you get to drop him, he's just a really big guy. Then we come over here and we got, of course, the Inzektors. We got 3 Dragonfly, 3 Centipede, 3 Hornet. The whole engine of the deck right there. And then the other cards that side with it are 1 Gigamantis and 2 Ladybug. I do Ladybug just because I find the effect kind of more fun. There's a card in my deck I'll show you in a couple seconds that this card kind of combos with. Basically, Ladybug just says you send it to the grave and you select 1 face-up monster on your side of the field and increase its level by up to 2. So it's really good to help start off Dragonfly's effect to kind of pull out a Hornet if you need it because you haven't seen it yet, or Centipede to just kind of start getting a big guy out there. Then we have Sangan. Sangan searches Ladybug, it searches Dragonfly, and it even searches the Hornet that's so key and crucial to the deck. It also gets a Veiler, but really, how often are you going to need Veiler with Sangan? Then the card that everybody has to have, Triple Tour Guide. Kind of self-explanatory. She just adds consistency. We'll leave it at that. On to the spells, we have 1 Dark Hole. Because my Inzektors are little guys, and they can't really get over big stuff like Chaos Dragons or Heretics, so I kind of need something to help get rid of a big field. So Hornet, I use him more for the back row destruction. This lets me, clear up everything, then Hornet can start picking off other stuff. We got Foolish, because it just helps drop anything I need in the grave, like Hornet or Ladybug. Then we have Heavy, because it's heavy, it clears out the back row. Then 2 Zek Calibers. I've actually put this on a Hornet, equipped with another Hornet and a Gigamantis, and had it jumped up for the attack and was beating face with just this card. But its second effect is usually the reason I put it in here, just because it it adds an Inzektor engraved back to hand. So if you've only seen 1 Dragonfly, it kind of helps you get it back in. And then you got your Mind Control, which is really good in a mirror match, because at a tournament I actually stole some guy's Centipede and equipped the Hornet I had in my grave and activated the effect, add Dragonfly to hand, summon it, and activated Dragonfly to equip my Hornet to blow up his Centipede so he can get the effect back. This card is the card that combos well with Ladybug, because Ladybug increases the level of any monster, so I can take my opponent's monster and then Ladybug to bump the level up to whatever I need, and then exceed with their monster, or summon Effect Veilers, my only tuner, or reborn their tuner if they're running it, and it sync with it. Then Monster Born, staple, and then triple MST in the main. MST in the main because Inzektors are hurt by warning, and obviously Torrential Tribute, anything that's going to stop them from getting their effects off. 2 Duality. I've seen decks run it at 3, but they also don't really run a Foolish Burial. I personally like 2. It just enough consistency added to it. My tech card is 1 Smoke Grenade of the Thief. I'm kind of thinking about maybe switching this out for Pot of Avarice, because sometimes I've exploded with the deck and then I'm kind of stuck because everything's in the grave. But this is really good if my opponent doesn't have anything I can blow up anymore. I can just throw this onto my guy, or even their guy, and MST it away, or use Hornet to blow it up, and then just get to take a card in their hand and send it straight to the grave. And then my traps, I got 2 Compulse, I like Compulse because it's a little better than Fiendish Chain. They can't chain Mystical Space Typhoon to Compulse to get rid of it, so I can kind of put back a BLS. I can put back any Exceed that comes out that's a problem. It's just really good all around. Then you got Solemn Brigade, which there's no explanation for that. 1 Torrential Tribute. A lot of people prefer the 2 that we can have this format. I personally like it at 1. If I need to clear off the field, I can use Hornet for that, but I find 1 is just good enough for it. And then I have 2 Trap Stuns at the main. 2 Trap Stuns because it lets me kind of mini cold wave the field, so I can summon stuff and not have to worry about it getting chain dissed or bottomless or warninged or anything. It's getting me stopped, so I can kind of go off. My extra deck for the deck here, we got 1 Leviair, because it's Leviair. You know, I can get back their stuff, I can get back my stuff. If someone crowed a Hornet out of play and I really need it, I can get it back, no problem. Currently, I'm running 3 Leviathan Dragons. That's only because I don't have a wind-up Zen mains. I know a lot of people are freaking out because it's getting reprinted, but it kind of needs it. It was a $100 card. I like that it's becoming in a lower rarity, but it's just nice to have all together. Then Acid Golem. He's in here just basically because he's a beater. His effect that says that I can't special summon isn't a big deal because I'll kind of just set him out there for a turn to kind of make my opponent have to work over top of him. So if he does survive their turn and that comes back to me, I'll just summon a Dragonfly and equip a Hornet to blow him up so I can get my special summons off. Then I have Steel Swarm Roach in here just because it helps stop Chaos Dragons. I had Shark Drake, but Shark Drake never really went into it with this deck. And then we got Utopia and Utopia Ray, just because they're kind of staples in any deck. And I run Exastag. Some people don't know what he does. He's similar to Exabeetle, but instead of when he's summoned, you Xyz into him, and then once per turn you detach a material to take a monster on their field or in their graveyard, which means I can get rid of any problem big guy they have out, or I can get stuff back. And a lot of people don't realize it, but they can equip Gigamantis onto this guy, as well as the Inzektor sword, because he's an Inzektor, so it's really helpful. Then I run a Dreas in here as another 5-star target. I'm really thinking about maybe trying to put in Tiras as the over him, just because he can't die by card effects, but I'm really liking him in this deck. And then Armory Arm, just because it's simple effect Veiler and most of the deck because they're all level 3s, so it's easy to equip onto something and then just start beating people up with it. Brio, because he's a staple. Stardust, because it's a staple. Which also, I have Scrap Dragon. I don't really go into these guys too much, but there are those cards that are always really nice to have in the deck. And Chimera Tech, just because I side 2 Cyber Dragons. Chimera Tech, as most people know, just you use him to clean up all their machines off the field. My side deck for this though, 2 Crow, just because Crow's really good this format to hit stuff in the graveyard out of play. Soul Release, just because I just want to be that guy that just gets rid of anything you possibly could have done in the graveyard. And I'd seen another video online, and it actually made me think about putting this into my side deck, because a friend of mine, which Boss Panda was running Chaos Dragons at the time. Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. For those of you that don't know, it's a continuous trap that says all face-up level 6 or higher special summon monsters on the field cannot declare an attack or activate their effect. So it stops, Darkness Metal. It just stops a bunch of the good guys that come out on the field. Then we got Chain Disc, because it's really amazing, this format. And then Double Decree. Decree's in here because most people, they leave Shadow Mirror in their side deck, just because of Inzektors or Dark World or whatever, but it's really nice to have that. I usually keep my 2 trap stuns in whenever I side these in, so it's like I'm running 4 of these. But I still prefer Trap Stun over this because they can't chain Mystical Space Typhoon to Trap Stun. They have to Judgment in or Bribe it or Bark in or Sheehan, something to help get rid of that. And then 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. If you saw Chocolate Swirl Head is currently running Heretics, and for some reason my locals like to run a lot of like Light Sworn kind of base decks, so this just kind of helps me stop those guys from getting their effects off. Kinetic Soldier, I only run the 1 just because kind of expected with the Samurai deck coming out. A lot of people in my area are running Samurai, so he's really good against the Warriors. And then double Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons are good and obviously against machines, but if I side him in sometimes, I can just drop him from my hand, and then I've instantly got a target for Dragonfly or Centipede or someone to blow up with Hornet, so it's never really dead if I side it in. And then 2 Max Cs. Max C, has kind of gone down in playability since, priority's gone, so windups aren't really big. Like my area, they were never big. But in my area, we also got a bunch of people that don't really know what this card does. So if you drop it, you keep drawing until they're done special summoning. Well, a lot of the people in my area, not knowing what that does, just keep getting bigger and bigger on the field and allow me to draw and draw and draw and get better answers to what they're possibly going to do. Well, there you go. There's my current deck that I'm running for this. I'm pretty sure the deck's going to get hit in the ban list in some way, but just like, a lot of people stuck with Samurai after the ban list when everything got hit down to 1, I'm definitely going to stick with Inzektors. So keep watching the channel and we'll try to put up some more videos for you guys.